Welcome back to the Best Friday channel on YouTube. My name is Fearless, and today I'm going to be asking you guys a question. Why would you ever run these perks? Why would you ever use these perks? Why would you even ever look at these perks? Based off of that question, you might not know what I'm talking about, so let me explain. Let's just start with the first one here. So, Fast Track is a worse version of Bardic Inspiration. That's what this video is, basically. I'm taking two perks that have almost the same effect, but one is infinitely better than the other, so why would you use the other? That's pretty much what it is. So, Fast Track, if you don't know, whenever a survivor is hooked, you get 3 tokens. For each token, whenever you hit a great skill check, for each token, it becomes 1%. So, let's say one person was hooked. I got 3 tokens. If I hit a great skill check, I'll get an additional 3% on top of the percentage you already get, which I forgot what it was. And the reason I think it's a worse version of Bardic Inspiration is because Bardic Inspiration, it's a dice roll. You know, if you roll a 1, you scream. Nothing happens. But if you get a 2 to 11, it's 1% additional on skill checks. And if you get from 12 to 19, 2%. And if you get a 20, it's 3%. Fast Track gives you 3% for every hook already, right? But after you hit that skill check, you don't get it again. Bardic Inspiration, it lasts for 90 seconds. So you do it over and over again. And I believe, I don't know if it's true or not, I'm 99% sure it's for regular skill checks too, not just great ones, but I don't know. Yeah, in the description, it just says it gives skill checks that percentage. So I'm pretty sure it's for good skill checks and great skill checks. Obviously, you want to go for the great because it will give you even more. But if you hit a good, it will still give you more progress than it would. So why would you ever use Fast Track? Not only does it require a teammate to get hooked, which is horrible for you, it's just horrible in general because you have to hit a great skill check to use it. And if you're bad at skill checks, like me, it's pretty hard to hit a great skill check, right? Bardic Inspiration, you don't need to have anyone hooked. You can use it multiple times in a match, like pretty much infinitely until the game is over. It's just better. It's just better. So, okay, next one. Built to Last is a worse exaltation. If you don't know, Built to Last, let me just read it, because I'm stupid and I don't know. If you get inside of a locker for 12 seconds with a depleted item, like let's say an empty medkit, that medkit will get 99% of its charges refilled. If you get in a locker again with an empty item, it will go up to 66. If you get in it again, it will be 33, and after that, it doesn't work. So you can only use it 3 times per match. And it's only really useful for the first one because it goes back up to pretty much 100. The other one's not very useful. So why would you ever use that when you can have Exaltation? Exaltation requires you to stun the killer. And when you get a stun on the killer, you get your item, first of all, increases in rarity. And this is going to be based off of the buffed version from the PTB. We don't know if it's going to stay the same or not, but I didn't hear any complaints, so it should stay at 75. But yes, it will up the rarity of your item. So let's say I have a gray medkit. Now that's going to go to green. And it will also go back up to 75%. So it would refill 75%. Like, let's say your medkit's at 25% already, and then you stun the killer. It's going to go back up to 100 and then upgrade to another medkit, which is great. Especially if you have add-ons, because if you have, like, 2 really good charge add-ons for a medkit or a toolbox, it will be 75% of that, so you'll get even more if you have those add-ons. Yes, the only downside is it requires you to stun the killer. And that is the problem right there. If the killer respects pallets, or if they can go through pallets or over pallets, you know, it's not as good. But Built to Last, you have to be in a locker for 12 entire seconds. If you're refilling a toolbox, that's pointless, because in that 12 seconds that you spent in the locker, you would have already gotten that progress on the gen anyways. So, toolboxes are useless for it. Medkits, again, it's only good for, like, the first, maybe the second one. But on that third one, where it only gives you 33%, that is pointless. So, yeah, that's why I think Built to Last is a worse Exaltation. Calm Spirit is a worse Hardened. I'm pretty sure at this point everyone knows what Calm Spirit is. You can't scream, and you don't alert crows. Now, a lot of people sleep on the don't alert crows part. The fact that you don't alert crows is really, really good, actually. I didn't think about that when I put this on the list because I completely forgot about it. But Hardened, you open a chest and you cleanse a totem, you can't scream for the rest of the game. Now, the reason Calm Spirit's so bad is because you can't scream. That's good. You don't alert crows. That's good. But you open chests and cleanse totems 30% slower. And chests, not that big of a deal. But if a killer even has 1 hex totem, and let's say they have Thrill of the Hunt as well, you're never getting that totem done. You're never going to be able to get it done. 30% slowness on a totem that could literally make you lose the game. So, even though it doesn't alert crows, no one really uses calm. No one ever really uses like spies in the shadows. A lot of like decent killers or just like they don't pay attention to crows. Only high MMR people really do that, based off of my experience at least. So that's why I think Calm Spirit's a worse hardened. Next we have Cut Loose is a worse Quick and Quiet. Cut Loose, I believe, if you vault a window in Chase, it activates for 6 seconds. If you vault another window, it is silent. And it will remain silent as long as you do it within the 6 seconds. So every time you vault a window, 6 seconds happens. If you vault within that 6 seconds, the timer will reset, and that vault will be silent. It's just so overcomplicated and not even useful at all. Quick and Quiet is 10 times better than Cut Loose in every single way. You vault, it's silent. 15-second cooldown. Cut Loose, I don't know how long the cooldown is. It's 45 seconds. So, yeah, it's not good at all. It is literally triple of Quick and Quiet. So, Quick and Quiet's just better. Friendly Competition is the worst Prove Thyself and Deja Vu. So, Friendly Competition. And, dude, I rant about this perk all the time, dude. Let me find it real quick, guys. Okay, found it. When you finish repairing a generator with at least one other survivor, this perk activates. You and the other survivors who finished repairing the generator with you get 5% repair speed for 75 seconds. You might be thinking, oh, okay, that's decent. No, it's horrible. And let me explain why. Not only does the person need to be, like, one other person needs to be on it with you. If you finish a gen by yourself, you don't even have a perk at that point. So basically, someone has to be on it with you. Let's say you actually both finish it. Boom. Now you both have 5% speed. You go do a gen. You both have 5%. That's 10 total for 75 seconds. That's not that bad. But when these other two perks exist, it's horrible. So Prove Thyself. The reason this is 10 times better than Friendly Competition, you don't have to finish a gen for it to activate. And you just get 10%. Just off the bat. So it's double this. It's double the speed of Friendly Competition already. And your teammate also gets the 10% if they're on it with you. So you get 20% total. And it's not... There's no time limit. It doesn't go on cooldown when a gen's done, which honestly I think it should, to be honest. But no one really runs it anymore anyways, because it used to be 15%, which is 30 total for you and your teammate, 30 total. But now it's 10%, which is still 20 total, which is insane. It's just 10 times better than Friendly Competition. You should never run this perk unless you're doing Thalita's Adept, and Thalita has all 3 horrible perks, so why would you ever do that? And Deja Vu, I also think, is better than Friendly Competition. It's only on 3 specific gens, but it's 6%, which is 1% higher, and it's permanent. On any gen that's within the 3-gen range, it is permanent. There's no time limit at all. It doesn't go on cooldown whenever you complete a gen. At least I don't think it does. No. You just get 6% speed on the 3 closest generators. You don't have to finish a gen to activate it. It's just activated throughout the entire game. It used to be very different, but we don't talk about that now. Alright, so next we have Wicked is a worse Deliverance. Wicked, you can unhook yourself guaranteed if you are in the basement. Deliverance, you need to unhook someone first, and it needs to be a safe hook rescue. But then you can unhook yourself guaranteed anywhere on the map. The reason I think it's better, even though you have to have an unhook on someone first, and they have to live for, like, I think 15 seconds before you get a safe hook rescue, I think it's just better because you can do it anywhere on the map. Wicked, it's guaranteed you don't have to do anything for it, but you have to be in the basement. You don't have to unhook someone, but you do have to be in the basement. So, you know, by the time you get off the hook and run all the way up the stairs, the killer's probably already almost there. It's just horrible. And if the killer sees you running into the basement, they're going to know you have this perk, and if they're smart, they'll just slug you down there. Because a lot of people that run Wicked don't run, like, Unbreakable or anything, so they'll run down there, the killer will down them, and then the killer will just leave and slug them. So, Wicked, I think, is just absolutely awful. Botany Knowledge is a worse Do No Harm. Do No Harm is the new perk from Orella. Whenever someone... for every hook stage someone has, you heal them 50% faster. So, if someone's 1 strike, 50%. If someone's 2 strike, you heal them 100% faster. Botany Knowledge is 50%, just flat. But it doesn't go up to 100, and that's why I think Do No Harm is better. Do No Harm, At first, it's 0, but at some point, everyone's gonna be first strike at some point. So you'll have 50% on everyone regardless, except for yourself. Body knowledge does work on yourself. Do no harm does not work on yourself. That is the one downside. But do no harm does give you 3% bonus on great skill checks, and I believe it's already 3% for healing, so it would be 6% per great skill check. And it does stack with medkits. I just think it's better. Like, yes, at first it does nothing, but it can go up to 100, and I think that scaling that brings it up makes it a lot better than body knowledge because it's just at 50 the entire time. All right, Left Behind is a worse clairvoyance. Left Behind shows you the hatch's aura within 32 meters if you're the last one alive. Okay, that's fair, right? The reason I think clairvoyance is better, yes, you have to cleanse a totem and you have to have no item in your hand. But when you hold down the item button, you can see the hatch, generators, exit gate switches, pretty much everything except for totems within a 64-meter range. So it's double the range of Left Behind, and I just think that's what makes it good. There is 10 seconds that you can use it, but there's so many totems on the map, I don't think that even matters. So I just think it's better. It's just that simple. Low Profile is a worse Lucky Break. What Low Profile does is, I might get the numbers wrong, so let me look for a second. Okay. When you are the last survivor standing, not alive, the last survivor standing up, you have no scratch marks, pools of blood, or grunts of pain for 90 seconds. I thought it was 70, but it's actually 90 seconds. So, when it says the last one standing, yes, it's if you're the last one not dying or on the hook. If you're the only one standing up, like literally standing, you get this. That's decent. I think it is underused a lot. I feel like it's a pretty decent perk, but Lucky Break is better. Whenever you become injured with Lucky Break, you leave no scratch marks or pools of blood for 60 seconds. When it runs out, and then you're healthy again, for every second that you spend healing someone else, that's 1 second you get back on Lucky Break. It takes 16 seconds to heal someone else, so for every heal, you'll get 16 seconds back on Lucky Break. So it's actually better if the killer has Sloppy Butcher in this scenario, because then you can, you'll spend more time healing, so you'll get more Lucky Break back. But yeah, I just think it's better. You don't have to be the last one standing. It's really good if you mix it with Overcome, because you'll get even further and have no scratch marks or anything. It's so good on indoor maps. It does not get rid of your grunts of pain. Low Profile does get rid of your grunts of pain, but I don't think that little tiny difference makes it worse than Low Profile. So it's a better version of Low Profile. Overzealous is a worse Prove Thyself. So Overzealous, if you cleanse or bless a totem, you get 10% repair speed. Prove Thyself, you don't have to do anything besides get on a gen with someone else, and you both have 10%. So that's automatically 20. Yes, you have to be on a gen with someone else. Overzealous, you can be on a gen by yourself. So honestly, I don't know if Overzealous is a worse Prove Thyself or if they're like even, but I would still prefer Prove Thyself over Overzealous. When you get injured by any means, Overzealous goes away. Prove Thyself, doesn't matter if you're healthy, doesn't matter if you're injured, you can still use it. The only downside is that you have to be with someone else. But I overall think it is better than Overzealous. Sorry. Self-Care is a worse Strength in Shadows. My friend Finney wants to argue about this and saying self-care is better because you don't have to go to the basement. Okay. I made a little test video on how fast self-care was. I didn't do one on Strength in Shadows. Maybe I will eventually. But for self-care, without any other like speed increases, it takes 45 seconds to heal yourself. That is half of a generator. Strength in Shadows, however, I timed it. It takes 22 seconds, maybe 23. It was like very close. So let's just say 23 seconds, which is actually faster than using a medkit, by the way. Now, yes, when you combine Botany Knowledge with self-care, it takes 22 seconds with self-care as well. But I would much rather use one perk slot for healing than just two for that one thing, you know? I don't want to use 2 perk slots just for healing when I can use one. So just because of that. So, like, yeah, self-care overall would be better if it was 22 seconds, obviously, but you have to use Botany Knowledge to get it to that point. So Strength of Shadows is better for me. And these are all opinion-based. Well, some of them literally aren't opinion-based. Like, some of these are just blatantly true. Like, Friendly Competition, for example. That's not an opinion. Prove Thyself is literally just 10 times better than it. Anyways, we're on to the second to last one. Premonition is a worse spine chill. Premonition, if you're looking in the killer's direction within, like, 45 meters, you get a noise notification. That's all it does. Spine chill lights up in the bottom right of your screen whenever the killer's looking in your direction. These are both very, very bad perks, but Spine Chill is just a better version of Premonition. Spine Chill, for one, does not have a cooldown. Premonition, I believe, is, 36. And also, it's not 45 meters, my bad. It's 45 degrees, and it's within 36 meters. Spine Chill is also within 36 meters. So it's literally just the reverse here, but I do think Spine Chill is better because it gives you a speed increase to like sabotaging, repairing, healing, unhooking, cleansing, blessing, opening exit gates, unlocking chests by 6% if the killer's looking at you. And that 6% has actually saved me before on exit gates, believe it or not. The killer saw me from across the map. It was like cold when it was really open. He saw me, and the only reason I got out barely because of Spine Chill. Premonition would not have done anything in that scenario. And so that's why I think Premonition is just a worse Spine Chill. All right, last but not least is Small Game is a worse counter force. So Small Game, if you're looking in the direction of a totem within 45 meters, or 45 degrees, sorry, I keep saying meters. If you're looking in the direction of a totem within 45 degrees, within 12 meters, it will make a little sound, and it will go on cooldown for 10 seconds. For each totem that you cleanse, the degree is decreased by 5. So it would go down by 25, 20. It will be 20 if you have all 5 totems cleansed. But at that point, it won't even matter the range or the degree because, all the totems are gone. Counterforce, however, we're going to go off the PTB one once again. So you cleanse totems 25% faster. Whenever you do cleanse a totem, you see the aura of the furthest totem. And whenever you cleanse a totem, you get a 25% additional increase to the already 25% that you have. So your first totem is going to go 25% faster. You get it done, the next totem is going to go 50%, then 75, all the way up to 125, which is insane. And if the killer happens to have, I'm blanking. If the killer just so happens to have Pentimento, their totems are going to get shredded through like cheese. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm sure there's perks that I missed. If there's any perks that you think there are better versions of, just let me know in the comments below. And, I don't know if I'm going to do a killer version. I did look through all the killer perks, but I didn't put them in this video because there was barely any. There was only a couple, like Alien Instinct is a worse version of Barbecue and Chili, stuff like that. There's barely any, though. The killers have a lot less, like, identical perks, let's just say. Meanwhile, Survivors, we have, I think, like, what is this, 13 almost identical perks. So, yeah. And, yeah, I'm just going to say yeah 20 times, I guess. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Bye-bye.